Hi guys, everything you need will be written underneath above the comments. All I'm using, I've got some Fimo Pro here and I've rolled it out on a number 2. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is remove that hair. Rewind. First thing I'm going to do is divide it into a rough 3. It doesn't have to be perfect, just enough to be able to create the piece. So I'm going to lie that on there, make sure there's no air bubbles. Same with that one, lie that on there, make sure there's no air bubbles. Right, now I'm looking at roughly about 5 or 6 centimeters. I'd say if you're doing a man's, maybe 6, 5 for a lady. That's how I kind of see it. So I just want to see roughly. So it's only a guide. So just try and make sure you cut down. I always remember my best friend always telling me that, I remember always said when you're cutting bread and you look down the blade, when you can't see either side, you know it's straight. And I try to keep that in mind here with this, although whether it'll work, I don't know. But when this is finished, you can sand up the any issues. Okay, so I'm looking to get a long straight block, and actually what I should have done was put it onto the tile first. That was my plan. So if you get a tile now, or whatever you're cooking on, and you put that on there, once you've done it, you haven't got to move it, which is great. Also with this, I find when you've got your blade, if you put it flat, then stand it, it'll tend to straighten it better than if you just go down. That's what I find anyway. So I'm looking, I want to kind of make it more or less square. So not necessarily perfectly, but roughly. So I'm going to take all that away and then see what I've got. Okay, so at the moment I can see it needs a little bit of tidying up. So I'm just going to go straight down there. I mean, obviously you can tidy it all up afterwards, but I think the straighter it is when it goes into the oven, the easier job you've got on the other side, haven't you? That's how I see it. Just got to be careful to keep making sure you keep it in shape, because I think I've just got a very slight wider bit there now. Okay, so lie it down, stand it up. Lie it down, stand it up. I'm just going to measure it. Okay, at the moment that's 6. I'm probably going to take a little bit off, about that. And then I'm just going to tidy it up, and then I'm going to put it into the oven at the manufacturer's recommended temperature. Okay, lucky enough I've already made some, so I can carry straight on. Okay, so that then goes in the oven at the manufacturer's recommended temperature, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so this is the first time I've done this, it might go wrong. So I've rolled some clay out onto number 5. Okay, and then I'm going to get one of my pieces I'd already made, and I'm going to place that number 5 on this. So basically you've got your hard core without having to worry about misshaping it while you're decorating, and this is why I thought if you do a block first, surely it makes it, I'm probably speaking too soon, surely it makes it easier to decorate if the centre bit's hard. So that's my theory. So that's that. I'm just gonna, we're gonna be shaping and all this at the moment, so I'm not too bothered. I'm just trying to cut away the excess. And we can sort of mould it right in a minute. Best we can. Oops, I just cut the top off there. I didn't think, did I? Never mind. Put it back on. Right, also I'm going to be using this lettering here. Now I got this from AliExpress, and I mean I think it was about £2-3. They're so cheap. It's the best I could find at the moment. There seems to be really few small letters available, unless anyone knows anywhere I don't. Right, okay, so that's more or less covered. So now it's covered, I'm just going to find my other blade, my solid blade, and I'm just going to start pushing it down. Give that a little rub. Let's get rid of the line. go. Okay, so I'm just pushing each one down to try and see if we can get a nice flat even block. I should also do the same with each end every now and again. It'll take a while and we'll probably have to cut little bits away, but it's worth it because I think these sort of necklaces, there's something about less is more sometimes, isn't there? And this one you can, do whatever. I've decided to choose a word that'll fit. You could use peace, love, faith, whatever. You could use a date of birth, whatever you want, a name. And if you don't want lettering, just decorate it, with a pattern. But I just think it's a good way to do something simplistic that still, I hope, will look a bit classy. Time will tell. Okay, so roughly I'm happy because this is going to be decorated. Okay. There's a little bit of something there. I'm just going to see if I can remove it. I like to just try and round the edges. Keep remembering to do that in between things. Even though I'll probably squash it loads of times, at some point it'll be the last time. So now I've got these letters. I'm going to aim. I wonder whether to do a pattern just on the bottom half first. I think I'm going to. So it's like two different ways of being done. So say I go just down to the bottom third. Then I'm just going to press the pattern on here. I'm just using a stone texture. I don't know if it will work or not, but let's see. Squashed out of shape a little bit, hasn't it? So I'm going to have to see if I can ease it back in. If I can't, I'll just flatten the lot up and take it back to basic. But I do kind of feel there'd be something nice in having like a bit of rustic in this, especially if it's unisex or male. So I'm just going to see how this looks as I'm doing it. It's a bit squashed at the bottom there. I'm just going to take a little bit away and then squash the bottom again. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. I'm glad I've done that at the moment. The letters will go through it, but I'm hoping it will. Now, the next thing is trying to keep these letters straight. And like I said, I haven't done it before. I've butted them up against to check they fit, but other than that, I haven't. So now I'm just going to try and make sure. If I can't do it, I'm trying to do it so you can see it straight, but it's hard to look myself as well and keep it straight. So there's an F. I'm not happy that's not quite central. Unless we make it quite rugged, I don't know, we'll see. A. Fingers crossed I haven't got to start it all again. Is that an I? No, that's a T. I picked up the wrong one. I's not quite straight, but I'm starting to wonder if it might be better just to let it look rugged. We'll see. You might be quite confident to impress your letters with a dotting tool or something. I mean, that is another way of doing it. Okay, so that's that for the minute, and I'm quite happy with that because it's got an organic look, but at the same time you can see what it says. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'm happy with that for the second. I am going to get a little white Swarovski crystal to put down the bottom, so I'll go and get that and then I'll be back. Okay, so if you just check it over, anything you're not happy with, I can see my F has gone all funny. So I'm just going to tidy it up and then put it in the oven at the manufacturer's recommended temperature, and I'll see you on the other side. Hi guys, so it's out. Blemmin' microphone again. Right, it's out. So now I'm just going to drill a hole right through the side. So I'm using quite a wide drill bit. Just keep checking from the top and the side that you've got it straight. I'm just going to feel for it. I'm doing it slowly so I don't stab myself, and I can just feel it coming through the other side now. So that's just right. Okay, so there's a nice hole through the side now to put the cord and whatever else through. I knew something was going wrong there. I could feel it all loose on the top. Right, that's dealt with for now anyway. Okay, so the last thing that I want to do, just get some gold paint, and I hope it'll be okay, because I noticed after I baked it that I think the middle bit of the A might not be showing, so I'm just going to see how if it stands out too much. So I'm just placing the paint everywhere at the minute. Do the bottom half first and then I can swap round. Right, so I've just got some paper here to just get the worst of it off. Make sure I clean that diamond in a minute. Probably going to regret going straight over it. Right, I'm just going to get something damp a minute. Just wanted hints of gold to show in the bottom bit where I textured it, but not too much. I'm going to do round 2 now. I think I need to put a little bit more gold paint in that H. It hasn't gone in properly. Right, now I just got to tidy up those other ones. I'm going from wet to dry because if you use, like I'm using the wet one too much, you end up making the paint watery. So I'm trying to, yeah, the A didn't come out, but it doesn't matter because you can still see what the word is, and it is kind of quite rustic, so it would be okay. I might go over that bottom gold bit again in a minute. Or even now, just so it's done. go over the back one in a minute when the sides have dried. So I'm just going to tidy this. What I will do with this, if I need at some point, is I will gently go over it with alcohol ink, just to make sure I get any bits off that I don't want. Don't start playing me up now. You've been doing really well. I'm going to let that dry as it is, and I'll clean it up afterwards. Okay, and then as soon as it's done, I will put it through a cord to show you. Okay, all right, thank you. I'll be back in a little bit. Hi, I'm back. So what I've done in the end is I've literally put onto a cord, added a couple of beads. For this itself, I've used a black ribbon buff at the top half. Okay, just to sort of tidy it up a little bit. So that's that. So I can show you up close. Okay, so that's probably more of a bling man's thing, or unisex. But I also made these. This just to show you with these blocks what you can do. I mean, this is the block as well, and all I did was I had a slab of stuff sort of just lying there, so I picked it up and added it to it, and it's come out really well. But if you'd have tried to do that without the solid block, it would have been very difficult. Also, I did this one. I'm just showing you various things. Don't look at the wiring, I'll be redoing it. But it's not finished yet. But it's just an idea of different things you can do. Okay, so there's a finished piece and two other examples. Okay, so I hope I've inspired you. Okay, bye.